Hi, and welcome to the first show of Let's Go Caching. This will be a video podcast about geocaching and what's new and what's going on with news, events, and things happening in the world of geocaching. If you're new to geocaching, welcome, and we'd like to take this first show to let you know a little bit about geocaching, what it is. If you're pretty familiar with geocaching, the show is going to be pretty basic and you're pretty much going to find it to be redundant to what you already know, but there might be a few things that you can pick up on and we'll let you know. First thing you ought to know is that what geocaching is, and pretty much that's a hide and go seek game that is put out online. You can go to sites like geocaching.com and they'll have all the information on there. And posted on their site is their description, which reads, geocaching is an entertaining adventure game for GPS users. Participating in a cache hunt is a good way to take advantage of the wonderful features and capabilities of a GPS unit. The basic idea is to have individuals and organizations set up caches all over the world and share locations of these geocaches on the internet. GPS users can then take the location coordinates to find the caches. Once found, a cache may provide the visitor with a wide variety of rewards. All a visitor is asked to do is if they get something, they should try to leave something for the cache. In order to participate in geocaching, what you will need is a GPS unit, which would be like this unit here, which is a Garmin GPS Map 60CX. It's a little bit more advanced, but there's the Garmin Legend. There's a bunch of smaller units that you can get for a little over $100 that'll do the job just perfect. Magellan, Lawrence, a couple other brands make them, but we use a Garmin for the ease of use, and we really like to use them. But there's several units out there, including smartphones that are GPA enabled, is another way that you can go geocaching. You'll just need a device that'll work out the field for you and enable you to actually pinpoint your location. On top of that, you'll need to have access to the internet, to geocaching.com. You can log on. It's free to have a membership there. And what you can do is do searches in your area on geocaches that are in or around your area. You can also do advanced searches if you're taking a trip somewhere, and it will give you coordinates along a path or within a zip code or near or around your home coordinates you can find. And there's lots of different ways you can do search criteria to find the caches. After you've downloaded all the coordinates for the caches that you would like to go look for, you will need some software to transfer it over to your GPS unit. The old days where GPS units didn't have any programmable capabilities, you'd actually have to write it down on paper, print it out, go out in the field and kind of match the coordinates to it, or you'd have to hand program it in. Nowadays, there's software that easily allows you to download it from geocaching.com, put it into your software, and then transfer it right into your GPS unit so that way you have them to take with you. You also have the capability when you do that to have the name of the cache, any hints that are available or any notes that you want to put in there for the cache. You can go ahead and upload that to your GPS unit as well. Some of the most popular software that is available is Expert GPS, and that's one I prefer to use, along with the Waypoint Manager to be able to transfer waypoints in and out of your GPS unit. You also have the capabilities of looking at topographical maps and satellite images along with where the caches are. So sometimes it can help you find out if there's some trails around or something like that that you're looking for. You can kind of see where you need to head towards to go find it. Expert GPS will run you about $50 for the download, and you can find it at expertgps.com. Another piece of software is the Geocaching Swiss Army Knife. Is a very popular software, and it's mainly a waypoint manager that'll get your stuff in and out of your GPS log. It does a great job for doing searches and kind of limiting your search to areas once you have everything downloaded, and it interfaces quite well with geocaching.com. The Geocaching Swiss Army Knife can be downloaded for $20 off their website. There's CacheMate available. It's for $8, and it's predominantly based for the PDA based and smartphones for people who use that for caching. Another useful tool for geocachers is Google Earth. Now you can download Google Earth for free, but to get the GPS enabled part of it, you do have to pay $20, and you can pretty much import your tracks and your waypoints. Once you choose which software you'd like to use to transfer your coordinates to your GPS, it's time to get out there in the field and go searching. So now let's talk about what you might find when you go out there. There are about 14 different types of caches that you can go out and find. There is the regular cache, which is from any size, from a micro, which is a small pill container, a small geocache, which would be like an Altoids container, a large, which would be an ammo box, or a coffee can is used a lot for the larger ones. You'll take a pin and head out in the field and go searching for your cache. The GPS units are only accurate to about 20 feet or so. Depending on what unit you have, you might be a little bit more accurate. But the premise of it is that you get out to an area and a location where you're at, and then you have to really start searching. Sometimes you have to search under rocks, behind trees, up in trees. Sometimes you have to climb for it. It's just, you pretty much have a pinpoint location of, okay, it's within the next 20 or 30 feet of this area, and you have to pretty much get down on your hands and knees sometimes and search for the cache. Once you find the cache, you can open it up and find a bunch of trinkets. Sometimes there's Matchbox cars, silly putty, jacks, stamps. There's a bunch of different stuff. A lot of times it's not of much value, but it's something that you can trade items. If you're going to take something, it's good practice to leave something. There's a log, so take your pen. You can sign the log to prove that you're there. And then you go back to your computer using your software that you have and log everything that you have on geocaching.com and pretty much keep stats of what caches you found. If you weren't able to find it, you can go and say that you haven't found it. And that helps with cache maintenance and items to help other people know that, hey, the cache might be missing, or it's damaged, or it's soaked in water, or something's wrong, so someone can go out there and maintain or maintenance that cache. Other caches that are available out there would be the traditional letterboxing, and that's where some of geocaching got started. And those are still out there and available, although they're not as popular as the traditional cache. You do have virtual caches, which is going somewhere. You're not going to find a box or container, but it's pretty much a virtual place that you'd go. And there's also earth caches, which are usually earth-based items where you can go, you can see a beautiful scenery. There's a earth-made feature that is there for you to see, take a look at. Most of the time you have to go back, log that, hey, this was here, that was there. There's some clue that you're going to have to give to get credit and to add that to your stats on geocaching.com. A very popular cache that's coming about is the puzzle cache, and mainly what that has to deal with is there's one location that you start from, and you usually have to get clues or coordinates from that cache to find the next or a series of your next caches that you're going to. So it's a little bit of a riddle or clue puzzle number game that gets you through finding the final cache. So it's a little bit more involved, and it takes a little bit more thought process, but a lot of people like going out and working the puzzle caches. And once again, that is something that you can get credit for and your stats on geocaching.com. Now, this has been a real quick, brief overview. I know there's a lot that we've probably missed, but this will just give you a pretty good idea of what's available and what goes on with geocaching, and be kind of an icebreaker for people who really don't know what geocaching is, to give you an insight of what it is. Some people call it an adventure game, some it's a sport, some it's a hobby, a pastime. Be it whatever it is, it's something fun to get you out of the house, going out and about, finding these caches, and all you pretty much need is a GPS unit, access to the internet, some software to transfer that information to the GPS unit, or if you want to be old school, you can actually write everything down by hand or key in item by item if you want to save some money on the software. But all in all, it's something great to get you out in the world. You see a lot of exciting things that you never knew existed, and it's really fun to get out there and go see things and do things. So with that in mind, we want to thank you for viewing and tuning in. If you'd like some more information, go to geocaching.com, or you can go and take a look, go to iTunes, take a look for Podcasters Podcasts. Sonny and Sandy do a great job once a week putting out an audio podcast, and we really recommend that you take a listen to that. They have some great interviews, great things that they cover, and we hope to see you out there. So let's go caching.